Okay guys, so we are almost finished. Now in this video, let's talk about Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is a powerful tool that I believe most of the companies use today, or most of the developers use nowadays to construct, to build serious projects. All right. Of course, in my case, I'm using Kubernetes because of course, it is being asked by the job description, and of course, it is an opportunity for me to learn a little about Kubernetes. But let me just show uh, one one more time about my Kubernetes structure. So uh, we are gonna have we're gonna get out of this simple structure, and we're gonna have something similar to this. Okay, so now instead of having only one API, we want to have the possibility of uh, get only one API or maybe more APIs. In my case, I made the configuration to go up to three applications. So we are gonna later execute some tests, some load tests, and we are gonna see this working correctly. Okay, so one other difference between the simple structure and my Kubernetes structure is that now we want to access our API using something like a new URL. So uh, we are going to pretend that this is the internet, okay? So you don't need to do localhost uh, and expose the port like we were doing before, but uh, now we're gonna have the like the websites, something similar to the website. That's so the idea here is to have something uh, similar, or um, kind of similar to a real environment. Let's say that I know that a real environment, a real structure uh, can should be very more complex than that. All right. But this is just for learning purposes, of course. So let me show uh, very quickly about what I've done here. So in my project, I included this folder here where you have some files that we've seen before, and also we have this Kubernetes folder. Okay, people call it K8s for Kubernetes. Okay, so here we're gonna have a lot of configuration files. Okay, uh, I could show every file and try to explain everything, but this will consume a lot of time, and actually I'm not a specialized person to to explain about that, but let me try just to show a little, at least about the API. Okay, so for the API we have this deployment file where we are kind of explaining to Kubernetes that I want to create this. This is a deployment, okay, and I'm telling that I want two replicas, two applications running, but we're gonna talk about that later. Okay, so basically I'm exposing the port here, and here an important thing is I'm requiring at least this amount of CPU and at least this amount of memory, right? Not storage, but memory, okay? And the upper limit is this amount of CPU. This is like 1 core of CPU, okay? And this is 1 GB of memory. So this is the lower limit and the upper limit. All right. And also I'm also doing some other configuration. I don't want to extend so much about that, but one important thing you want to see here is the config map and the secret. Okay, so in the config map, I'm creating our environment variables. So of course you've seen these environment variables before when we were talking about running the application using Docker and using the Docker compose file, and we used the .env file to create or to declare these information here. But here for Kubernetes, you want to create these files, and in the secret, you usually are going to set to configure your passwords or your credentials. Let's say that. Um, but of course, one more time, this should not be part of your project. Okay, I believe this kind of file with your sensitive information should be stored in another place, in a secure place. Okay, not in your application here. But that's not problem for me because this is just for learning purposes. Even my New Relic license key, it's not a problem to expose this on my project and on GitHub, because after I finishing recording my videos here, I will go to New Relic website and delete. I'm gonna delete this credential so no one can do something bad with it. Okay. So that's no problem for me because this is just for learning purposes. All right. So just to mention, I'm not gonna show everything, but just to mention, you can see that I also have other deployments for Grafana and the secret config map and other files here. And this is basically the same thing for Postgres, Prometheus, Redis. Okay, very very similar. There are a few differences, of course, but there are very similar. And here is something very interesting. Okay, uh, because we're gonna see this next. All right. So here with this ingress file, I'm doing something very interesting here. That is, I'm I'm creating this host here. This is like the website, explaining in a simple way. Let's say that uh, this is this would be like my website here. So we don't want to use localhost and the port, and this is very strange. This is just for local functionalities, but in a real website you should use something different here. Here you would use your URL for example. So I'm binding this host with the service of the API. Okay, so the API has this service here, and the name of the server is this name, and I'm binding this service with this port, and because of that, I don't need to mention the port of the application here. I just need, of course, I'm mentioning it here. I'm configuring it here, but when I'm going to access, I don't need uh, to mention this port anymore. Okay, so now we are going to deploy everything, but before deploying the Kubernetes our system with Kubernetes, I strongly recommend you to run this command here. So docker compose down. All right, so we've ran sorry the docker compose up to deploy everything. So now we really need to run the universal command to drop, to delete everything, because the configuration that I've set to Kubernetes uh, are very similar to the configuration that I've set to run uh, with Docker Compose. So if we don't do that, uh, the applications might interfere one one each other. All right, so we don't want to have some problems here running the system with Kubernetes. So we have to run this command here. So we are like deleting everything, and now we can run everything again with Kubernetes. Okay, guys, so some things before we can run the application with Kubernetes, you're gonna have to open your Docker desktop and enable the Kubernetes. All right, so you have to go here and enable the Kubernetes, and you probably will have to wait for a few minutes to everything start working. All right, so you have to wait for a few minutes, and after that, one last thing that you have to do is you need to, if you're using Windows like me, you have to come here to this file in this location here, my computer and local disk, and this path here. You have to access this file and edit, um, and you have to add here uh, these at least this line here, so we can call the the API. We can make requests to the API. So we set this this URL. Let's say that we set this name in the Kubernetes file. So here in Windows, we have to tell to Windows that this name is related to localhost. Okay, because if you don't make this bind, if you don't make this relation, when you try to access your computer will try to will try to find this on the internet. But we know that this is, in this case, this is not what we want, because we know that your application is running on your computer. Okay, so we have to make this relation here, so your computer will understand that this is running in your computer. So okay, you can edit you can add this here. I also made this for Prometheus and for Grafana, because we also want to access them to see all running correctly. All right, so I'm gonna show this next. So now we finally can run everything here. So let's try. First of all, okay, this is strange, but okay. Let me just get inside my Kubernetes folder. So cd devops cd kats, and now you have to run this command here, kubectl apply -f dot -r. This command here is responsible for running a file, but with this part of the command I'm trying to run everything inside the Kubernetes folder. All right, so we are gonna run everything, all the files here. Okay, so we have to run this. Looks like everything is okay, but despite that, we might have to wait for a few seconds or maybe for a few minutes. But let me try to make a request. So what we expect now uh, is to have the same, almost the same behavior that we've had before, running the system with the Docker Compose. Okay, so the difference here is now I don't want to use this way of accessing our application. Now you want to use our specific name. So this is just an example. You could be creative and and use a name for a that looks like more, uh, looks like an website a little more than that. Okay, this name is not good. I'm not a creative person. Okay, so you can see that I'm not using the port anymore because that's our name for now, from now on. Okay, so let me just execute some call here. Of course, this is a good signal. We had an error because, but it's okay because in this scenario here, this is something expected. Okay, because this user doesn't exist in this new environment. All right, so that's why we got this error here. So it was a good error. Let's say that. So we could see that I've made an access to a different place now. Okay, so this could be a website, for example, but of course we know this is currently in my computer. Okay, so that's the difference. So another difference here is you can access the other tools using the new names. Okay, so we can do Grafana local and access Grafana here. Okay, so let's skip this. Okay, so we also have Grafana here. You can create your dashboards, your charts here, and this should be in a real environment. This would be a better, a real URL to access. Okay, something on the private network. All right, also for Prometheus, so you could have Prometheus local here. That's the name we've set in the host file. Okay, so also the same idea for Grafana. This would be something on the private network, and your application in this case, you can say that this application should not be exposed to the internet. All right, so as this application is supposedly responsible for processing payments. So this API is not supposed to be public, all right? So the API also should be in uh, a private network. But even being in a private network, it's better to have these specific names. Okay, guys. So that's it for Kubernetes. Of course, I know that Kubernetes is a whole new world to learn about, to speak about, but I don't want to extend so much uh, about this subject here. And of course, I also have to. I also have a lot more to learn about Kubernetes. So let's continue to our final subject, the load testing. Okay, so see you on the next video.